Well, happy Thursday night, everyone. I'm to Nat, and next to me is my dear friend, Dr. Michael
Dr.
Gross.
Michael Gross. How are you, everybody?
We come live every Thursday night at this time because Michael has a powerful message to share with everyone. So I'm going to get right to the intro because we only keep this going for 30 minutes, give or take a few. And I don't want to take too much time away from Michael with his message, because our topic today is fascinating. It's your body, your life, and your challenges. And I can't wait to hear what you have to say, Michael. So I'll get right to the intro, okay?
All right.
Dr. Michael Gross is a professional keynote speaker, energy transformational coach, and he helps you achieve an unlimited life. He's an entrepreneur, author of The Spiritual Primer, applying God's 12 transformational laws to reawaken your soul by reconnecting to God, the true source, to experience your true source's love, joy, and happiness. For over 30 years, Dr. Michael Gross has been a spiritual teacher, a multidimensional healer, and an energy transformational coach. He also works with individuals while retrieving fragmented parts of their soul. He works with so many different parts of us that I didn't even realize that we had all these different pieces, but we do. He's a multidimensional healer, and I am proud and honored to be part of his life. Working with him is truly an honor. As an intuitive, he helps you understand the future as well as experiences that have occurred in the past that are currently affecting you. And that's huge because we all have our own life story. And Michael can bring so much clarity and wisdom and awareness to it. So he offers workshops, including reconnecting to God, the true source, cellular release, manifestation protocols, energy multidimensional healing, enlightenment, and many others. His vast store of knowledge includes positive affirmations, spiritual techniques that powerfully affect your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, family, and location to achieve your unlimited life. He's an international intuitive consultant for corporations traveling over half the world. His clients are in the US, Australia, New Zealand, South America, Asia, and other countries. He's been on international radio shows and so much more. He's also recently, well, actually, it's been a little while now, he's completed the formation of his nonprofit. Michael, would you make sure that as we give the mic over to you, that you mention it just a little bit before you go, however you want to fit that in? Because I think the people need to hear how important it is what you're doing. Okay, and lastly, what I'm going to say is Michael has so many accolades, so many accomplishments. He's earned a doctorate of alternative healing psychology. He's a certified professional hypnotherapist, thought field therapist, timeline therapist, Reiki master, and teacher. He's also holds a Master's of Science in Human Services and Gerontology, a Bachelor of Science in Human Services and Gerontology. He's also a non-denominational minister. My apologies, Michael. And he's also a Washington State Supreme Court certified professional guardian ad litem. So he has a plethora of skills, and I look forward to hearing more about your message to us today. So thank you very much, Michael, for joining us tonight. And I'm going to turn the mic on over to you. I will put his contact information into the comments below. So here you go, Michael. Welcome to your Thursday night Words of Wisdom.
Thank you, everyone. I thank you for joining me. There's something really special that I thought we'd be talking about, and it's your body, your life, and your challenges. We never coordinate the three together, never really think about it. But just to think about your life when you're under stress, there are usually two types of persons. One is that when they get under stress, they don't eat. And of course, if you don't eat or eat very little, you put your body under stress. And putting under stress, you put your cardiovascular system, your gastrointestinal system, or other parts of your body under stress. And if you're under stress for a long time, when not eating, obviously the balance will happen. Your body will begin to feel the effects of not having enough fuel, which is food, and it'll begin to change shape. It also will bring about the aging process and bring about being tired, upset, short tempered, etc., etc. But more importantly, it sets up a frequency and vibration that when people around you and you're under stress, they will feel that and they won't want to be around you. Or those that are love and care for you will make a suggestion and then you will growl or attack like a lion or something along those lines. So there's an example of your thoughts. Then on the other hand, we have the other type of person we call a stress eater. So they're under stress, they eat food, they eat everything in sight because they're looking to placate their life. And either way, whether you're turning around and you're not eating under stress or you're eating under stress, you are punishing your body. So if you're eating under stress, it begins to expand your body. It begins to take in different types of food, which you call comfort foods, which is causing a chemical and vitamin deficiency and balance, and your body will begin to puff out or will begin to put on weight, or other things will occur like heart conditions or ulcers or diabetic or other kinds of conditions. And I point all this out because it's time for all of us in these days to come to think about really what direction are we heading to? What are we creating in our own personal life? And why are we letting all those things around us, our family, our friends, our relatives, our businesses, or whatever, creating this stress and recreating our thoughts, our energy, our vibrations, and eventually affecting our bodies? In the research that I've done and working with so many beautiful souls, we were able to ascertain and go back to when the first time this debilitating illness occurred. And you realize sooner or later that you created it. For example, there was someone that I was working with, and they ended up having cancer. And in working with this particular person, they regressed and went back, and she remembered she was in a car in a driveway with her ex-husband, her husband at that time, and they got into argument. He opened the door and pushed her out, and she said, "I don't want to be here anymore." That was 8.5 years prior, and then she went to the doctor and found she had breast cancer, and the doctor told her, well, that cancer takes 8.5 years to grow. Then there was another client that I was working with, and she had rods in her legs and so on, and cancer, and she had broken up with someone she loved. And again, she said, it's not worth living life anymore. I don't like my direction in life. And being what happened is she had cancer, she could barely walk, etc. And more of us need to understand that thoughts are things. And because things are thoughts, we're creating not only our life, those that we see in the present, also in the future, but our body is also feeling that emotion, that anxiety, that frustration. Just think how you feel when you're joyous. Oh, you want to jump up and down. You're feeling great. You'll do a little dance. You might have a little celebratory bite to eat, or just really feel good and really feel happy. And this is what we need to understand, because we're coming to a precipice. I don't care if you're listening to this and you're a young little child, or you're in your 90s or 100 or somewhere in between. The responsibility and onus is now up to you. And that responsibility and onus is, how do you feed your life? When I talk about feeding your life, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Well, physically, of course, you're eating food. Mentally, are you getting upset or unbalanced? And that's when the neurons and synapses in your brain misfire. You have headaches, you have anxiety, you feel unbalanced and disconnected. And spiritually is that you are not only feeling all those emotions, but you are creating a magnetic effect on a spiritual basis that is going to bring more and more into your life. And you're going to say, why would I want to do that? Well, yeah, why would you? I don't know. Why? Because you don't feel worthy? You have no self-love, self-worth, self-esteem? Is that it? Truly, what's going on in your life? What you've done is given up your individuality, yourself, your recognition of who and what you are, to some innate thing like fear of something. Remember, fear, false evidence appearing real. And you're letting it control and manipulate your life. And then you're going to attract more situations, more people, because the universe says, whatever you think you create, whatever you create, you experience. And it's as simple as that. And you would say to yourself, well, why do I want to experience that? I don't know. Why? Why do you want to experience that? I have no answer. And of course, we do have an answer, and we know we have an answer. Yeah, we don't feel worthy, we don't feel loved, we don't feel respected, so on and so forth. And we're looking outside for all of that, outside of us, when really all that's inside, how you feel about yourself. You look at yourself and perhaps you see a few wrinkles, or maybe your hair is getting a little gray, or you're getting a little paunchy, or a few more wrinkles, or you feel like you're aging or not as agile as you used to be. But that's all up to you. I have one client, oh, I'm getting old, it's tough to work, tough to walk. And I go, oh, stop saying that. Well, I am. She goes, no. Yes, you are getting older, but it doesn't have to be debilitating. I remember I was watching something on YouTube, and there's an older couple. They were doing the jitterbug, and I think he was 97 and she was 91. My gosh, they were so agile, more agile than I am. They were flipping around, dancing, and everything. Why? Because even though they were that age, they weren't that age up here. They were still a teenager. There lies the secret of your body. Your body will respond to your thoughts, your thinking, your emotions, and feelings. Yes, you will age to some extent, but you don't have to be 97 or 91 and look that way. You can look 60 or 50 or 40 or 65, whatever. You can look at that any way you so desire. It's all up to you. And now I'm hoping that there's a door opening, an epiphany like, oh, I'm in control of my body and my thoughts and my emotions. And really, what do I desire? What do I desire to be? Well, that's a very good question. What do you desire to be? You don't want to be debilitated. You've got a lot more life ahead of you. And the other thing that really annoys the dickens out of me, people say their life is short, so you got to enjoy it. Well, maybe in terms of how old you are, and your soul could be millions and millions and trillions of years old, but in this lifetime, you are whatever age. But you know what? Living to 95, 100, more or less, that's a long time. And as you go through different phases of your life, from a child to a teenager to a young adult, and all the things you've learned, just think about this. Your brain is like a computer, we'll call it a hard disk. There is nothing invented that can keep up with the emotion, the energy, the frequency, and vibrations, and the experiences, or let's call it the software, which is your experiences of your brain. Nothing can. They all talk about, yeah, one day they'll achieve it. They will never achieve it. Never, ever, ever, ever achieve it. They can never have a hard drive or a disk big enough to retain all those informations. You stop and they talk about terabytes and all this stuff, and there probably is something I don't even aware of. But you ever imagine what goes in your life in 30 seconds? You're eating, you're breathing, you're drinking, you're thinking, someone's talking to you, maybe you're shopping, maybe you're looking around, maybe you're reading a book, maybe your phone is ringing, you're thinking two or three or four thoughts simultaneously, and each thought has a frequency and vibration and energy, and it's more than terabytes. Understanding that is the reason I'm speaking to all of you, is that I believe in the year 2024, there's a major shift. And this shift is coming towards the end of the year. And it's a shift of, do we want to become more enlightened and more spiritual? Now, I'm not talking about the religiosity and spirituality, which is great, it's fine, but it's limiting. And why is it limiting? Well, because religiosity places rules, regulations, and all these thoughts. However, religiosity is a stepping stone into spirituality. You know how limited spirituality is? What's the size of this universe? I can't even measure it. It's bigger than we could ever think, with all the galaxies, all the dimensions, so on and so forth. So it's huge. It's never ending. That's the point. It's never ending. And your knowledge, your experiences, and everything you're doing is never ending. It's not limited. The only person that can make it limited is you. So think for a moment. What do you desire in listening to me talk? What do you desire to accomplish in your life? What is it? But here's what I want you to do. I not only want, I desire and encourage you to think what you desire to do for you, not for your mother, father, sister, brothers, aunts, uncles, and your children and so on and so forth. That's beautiful. It's wonderful. But what are you desiring to accomplish for you to make you joyous and happy? Not to receive accolades, which we all love accolades. I love them too, and we all do. But what makes your heart sing and feel good about yourself? That's most important. Now, why would I say this? I'm glad you asked that, because of what you think you create, what you create, your experience. So you're feeling good, you're feeling happy, you're feeling healthy, you're feeling joyous, whatever, to whatever degree. What's the universal law? Oh, Michael likes this, so we'll give more of that. Universe does not separate positive from negative. You're in control of that. So if you want something debilitating, congratulations, go for it. You want something loving and joyous, go for it. And so many people, well, I want to have a happy life. I want to be wealthy. Yep, yep, yep. I hear this all the time. As an intuitive, I used to do a lot of intuitive readings, and I still do, but major questions were, when's my next relationship? Am I going to be rich and wealthy? Well, after about 3 or 4 years of hearing that, I said to the true source, I want to be able to help people. I don't want them to talk about when's my next relationship and how much money am I going to make and am I going to be wealthy. I'm so tired of hearing that because it's so limited. There's so much to life that we're losing track of it. And again, I brought up this before, but Steve Jobs, who unfortunately birthed out of his body pancreatic cancer, he actually, I saw him talking, money cannot buy health. Hello. And he was a workaholic. But I know Tia would like to say something. So go ahead, Tia.
I do. You said what you think you create, what you create, you experience, and when the universe hears your thoughts, what you know, and what you're doing, then it will give you back what you're putting out there. So just a quick example was this lady at work. I've connected with her several times, just giving her compliments or whatever. And yesterday, this is how the universe gave it back to me because I had a really bad day at work, and she came up to me, clear out of the blue, and gave me a hug. And I
Cool.
thought, this is exactly what you're talking about, how the universe is listening to what we do. And because of what had happened in the past, it came back to me in a
Yes,
beautiful way at a really perfect time. So we have to be mindful of what we say and do, right?
exactly. And this is another point I'd like to bring up. What you are expecting to hear, you're going to create. What you think you create, what you create, you experience. So I have a lot of souls that I've talked to, and they expected to receive this information. And they got this information that they expected. So, first of all, they created, they expected it. But it wasn't the truth. They were being conned. And they couldn't see the forest for the trees, as they said. But they believed it. As time goes by, they realize they were conned. Most importantly, when you desire to know something, there are a couple of techniques I'd like to share. And one of them, of course, you want to know the truth. That's most important. And I always ask for true inner source guidance and true soul guidance. And not my words, not my thoughts. Ask for a sign, not my words, not my thoughts, not what I'm expecting, but true inner source guidance and soul guidance. And then ask for a sign, whatever that sign is. And go to sleep at night and ask just before you go to sleep 3 times. Why would I say that? Well, you can do it any time during 24 hours. But the last thought you have before you go to sleep, you review anywhere from 60 to 90 times. Therefore, that question you're asking is repeated on subconscious 60 to 90 times. Well, of course, as you're thinking, when you think you create what you create, you experience. Well, how does that work? Thoughts are magnetic and has energy attached to it. So I call it electromagnetic energy. And you're putting it out. Like attracts like, comes into your beingness, into your thoughts, and there's your answer. Not the answer you expect, or maybe it is, but it's an answer that will guide you. And so many times, I knew this one person said they were really spiritual and told a mutual friend, he's going to live 900 years. And he came to me and asked me. I go, well, it's a possibility, but if that's what you want, you can manifest it, but just be a little open. It might be a little bit less. Now, did I wanted to tell him he was only going to live to about 85 or 90? I don't want to plant that thought into his head. All right, that's important for us to say and understand. It's like we look at the statistics from, the insurance companies. They plot out how long the average male and female lives, how much an annuity is going to be, or how much the insurance should be. And of course, insurance companies, everybody's into making a profit. And they have to have a profit because they won't have an organization. They won't be able to pay for their help. However, going back to what I was saying is that many times people are say something to me and I kind of say, yeah, this is a strong possibility if that's what you so desire, which I firmly believe. But I'm not going to turn around and say, oh, you're foolish. Ain't going to happen. Never, ever say that to anybody. Never. And another little tidbit, shall we say, I've had souls come up to me and they said, am I going to die? And of course, what I've discovered over the years, because I've been at this for many, 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 many years, is when you're going to birth out of your body. And I remember one of my clients came to me and we both broke down crying. And I said, yeah. I said, I knew I was. And she knew she was going to die. And the way she said it to me, it wasn't a rhetorical question, but you could see she was not in good health. And here's an interesting tidbit. So her daughter called me and said, Mom's ready to birth out, but she's afraid she's going to be punished and go to hell. Oh. So I called her and I said, hey, what's going on? She said, I'm ready to birth out, but I have a confession. I stole some pencils when I was 8 years old at school, and I'm afraid I'm going to go to hell. And I said, well, let's talk about this. I know it's mischievous. We agree that it was wrong. But ask genuinely for forgiveness for that person, if you remember, or ask the soul that you stole the pencils from, and just ask for forgiveness and ask them to forgive you and forgive yourself. She did that. 2 days later, she peacefully, keyword peacefully, birthed out. But that's a little problem with religiosity. Okay. They put all these fears and doubts into you, and it becomes so hard for people to understand that. Now, I'm not criticizing religiosity, just saying the limitations we place upon ourselves from religiosity, family, friends, relatives, teachers, so on and so forth. They create our life, or maybe block our lives, or stunt our lives, or forgive our lives. I remember there was a small stature person. I forgot who it was, and they're playing, that was what he would say. I forgot the name of the program, but he did exceedingly well. Exceedingly well. And what was that one with Thrones that went on and on? She wanted to conquer all these countries. I forgot the name of it. And they had a small person. What a phenomenal actor he was. He was incredible. So you see, we overcome our feelings of inadequacy. And whatever we're born with, you chose that, but you chose that to enhance your life. You go, well, why would I want to enhance my life if I'm a short person or I have problems with diabetes or whatever? Because you chose it to learn a lesson. Congratulations. Now, how long do you want it to be in your life? Your thoughts are an illusion created by fears and doubts and inadequacies. Your thoughts are also a positive, wonderful evolution of growth. I think I am now, or going to be happy, joyous, financially abundant, healthy, help everybody, so on and so forth. But you see, it's over a broad spectrum. It's not only one minor thing. So you don't want anything to become your God, whether you want to look handsome, gorgeous, beautiful, prosperous, outstanding, get adulations, whatever. Those emotions become your God and you worship them. But what should you worship? You should worship your joy and love and happiness in your life. And what I mean by worship, just accept it and realizing you are perfect, ever growing more perfect. And therefore, I wanted to leave these thoughts, and I'm sure I'll have more to share with you. And I know we're running down a little bit of time. So I wanted to talk about a couple of things. But the first thing I would like to talk about is TU talked about, the International Institute of Self-Empowerment. It's a 501c3, which I'm really so happy. It's a long story, how I got about it, but the True Source said I was supposed to start this up. Okay. And there were some obstacles. We just went through it, had some beautiful help and some beautiful people. We got it all established, and it's really great. And then I was coaching TU, and she wrote a book, Healing the Holes in Your Soul. I'll talk about it a little later. And she went through all kinds of abuse. And I decided the first leg, it's going to be 12, will be handling, taking care of, and looking after abused women and children and men. And looking at all those things, this True Source works through another person. It's unbelievable how it works. And you notice I give credit to other people as well, but the True Source guided this person. And I sat there thinking, well, we need millions of dollars. You get a woman that's been abused or molested, usually has 2 children. You got to put her up in a hotel justifiably, counsel her, get an apartment, have her get healthy, maybe education's there, help her get a job. It takes a lot of money. And I sat there, okay, there are a lot of other people doing it. And all of a sudden, this beautiful light comes through, and it's like, we're changing our course. We're still the International Institute of Self-Empowerment. What we're going to be doing now is working with abused women who now have had some counseling. We'll just top off that counseling, but we're going to help them become entrepreneurs. They will be self-sufficient, self-reliant, financially abundant, and prosperous. What a legacy for them, their children, and their families that are growing up. And they will be our future leaders in that area. So I'm really excited about this. I'll give you some more about our website when it's up. And we're putting together a consortium of all kinds of information and people, little by little, that will be enabling us to do that. You know, I have a cliche in life, and I'm only as smart as people make me. So in this case, they're going to make me smart and help me educate others, and they will be participating in it.
Michael, I just have to interrupt you because what you're building, and I've been working with you closely on this, it's so exciting, and I cannot wait until the world hears what you're doing. You're going to change so many lives, and I know what you've done for me. It's exciting to see that, you know, how we're going to help so many other people that are struggling with their self-esteem, self-worth, and self-love. You are phenomenal, Michael. I just want to give you the greatest accolades because of what we're doing and what you've begun for a lot of people. So people, please, please, please share this Thursday night with other, you know, with your friends. Let them also have an opportunity to meet Michael here on this Facebook Live and listen and hear more about what Michael's talking about, his beautiful nonprofit. So sorry, I had to interrupt there.
That's all right. Well, thank you. By the way, if you're looking for a tax, deduction, we're a 501c3. Be more than happy to receive your deduction, and just know that as we're getting going, we're going to be helping a lot of women. And this whole process is trial and error. We're going to learn a lot of things, but I'm in the process of aligning up some women who have a lot of expertise in that. And I know they're going to help me. They haven't officially said that, but I know I'll be able to achieve that. How do I know? Because I'm receiving True Inner Source guidance, and so will they. First of all, I'd like to thank all of you and remind all of you of a couple of things. So every Tuesday evening from 6:30 Pacific time to 7:30 Pacific time, we have what we call Soul Awakening. And that's done on audio for now, freeconferencecall.com. Eventually, we'll do a combination of YouTube and free conference call. So if you want to be in your pajamas and don't want anybody to see you, I get it. And in order to do that, what happens is you call in, you ask any question that you so desire. Hopefully I can answer those questions. And then we record a 10-minute motivational thoughts. To you, would you give them that information for Tuesday evenings?
Absolutely. The number is 202-926-1059. And the access code, Michael?
125446 pound. One more time.
202-926-1059. And the code, Michael?
125446 £. Using the same numbers, on the second Saturday of every month, I do what I call the Mass Consciousness Healing. In that process, it starts at Pacific time, 9:55 a.m. to 11:01. And we talk for 3 to 4 minutes, maybe a little 5. You talk, I talk. And then what happens is we go into a meditation. We actually become a conduit for the true source of unconditional love. And we become one with that love and let it touch everything that exists on this planet. Anything and everyone, Mother Earth, the animal, mineral, vegetable kingdom, and even all those that are here, and to bring about unconditional love. Therefore, if you join us after, let's say, 10:02, 10:03, and you hear silence, it's because we're in silence, meditating, becoming a conduit. It will change your life and it will enhance your month. So all of you, please join us. It's really important. We're doing it on freeconferencecall.com. And just repeat the numbers. It's the same number for the Tuesday night call-in.
Okay, that number is 202-926-1059. And the access code?
Same access code, 125446 £. And I call it the replay. So these messages that I deliver Tuesday night, I think there are 321. You can access these 10-minute motivational thoughts. And when you first get on, well, what number should I listen to? I don't know what number they are. Well, first of all, I decided that with over 300, you're going to read through 300 different titles? I don't think so. So what you're going to do is learn to trust yourself. And knowing it goes from number 3 to 322. Yeah, to 323. Yeah, what number would I choose? I don't know. I think I'll choose 126. And then you'll listen to it for 10 minutes. Go, just what I needed to hear. How do I know that? Because that's what people tell me. So just let your soul guide you. And if you're stuck in traffic, or you're frustrated, or you're angry, and you need a little emotional boost, treat yourself to something that'll help you feel good and raise your vibration. Because the information I share is channeled from my soul, from the true source, to your soul. To access that information, Tia, would you fill us in?
Absolutely. That number is 434-300-4170. And code, Michael?
Access code is the same, 125446 £. One more time.
That number is 434-300-4170. And the code?
125446 £. I wanted to share all of that with you. I want to offer all of you that are listening a complimentary half-hour consultation. And in order to do that, I know Tia has posted that information on the chats. And also, I want to just share with all of you, feel free to speak openly. And perhaps I'll be able to help you and help you find more joy and love and happiness in your life. And it's always an honor. There is my private cell. And if you so desire to call me, just leave a quick message if I can't pick up the phone, because I may be working with someone, and within 24 to 30 hours or less, I will get back to you. And if it's an emergency and you need to really talk, please state it's an emergency, not being impatient, but it's just the way you feel. Because I realize if it's an emergency, it's something important to you. Therefore, I thank all of you. And lastly, I want to talk to you about this, and that is healing the holes in your soul by Tia Nat. It's all about a story about a woman who I've said before rose from the ashes into the light of love and joy and happiness, like the mythological bird. So everyone, this is a must read, because it is a must read, because it will change your life. It's a book of inspiration, of love and joy and happiness, and finding the light within your soul.
Thank you, Michael. But I highly recommend that everybody start with your book, The Spiritual Primer. This is his second edition, so it has some extra golden nuggets in it. And if it wasn't for The Spiritual Primer and that wonderful gentleman sitting there holding my book, the book he's holding would not even be in existence. So truly, truly, you owe it to yourselves to take a look at this golden gem because of all the content that's in here. It changed my life. It made me a much more confident individual. And let me tell you, I would rather keep walking forward than looking back on the gutter of life that I was in. So today, I honor you, Michael, because you had the courage to come out and write this book and let other people see the beauty that we all have within us when we pay attention to our soul. Thank you, thank you, thank you for changing my life.
You're welcome. Next week, for those of you who are watching this, is Valentine's Day. So I'm encouraging all of you to think of someone you love, family, friends, relatives, even your children, but also do something nice for you, to honor you, for the person that you are. Do something nice for the Valentine called your name as well. Also, you can watch all this by going to Dr. Michael B. Gross on YouTube, and all the information I shared with you and some of the audio motivational messages are there, and beautiful pictures taken by award-winning photographer. That's right before you to your nap. So please join us, everybody, and please feel free to describe. I should say describe. Yeah, describe. I'm a little floating. Describe what you feel and hear, but also push the button to subscribe. Thank you, everyone. You have a wonderful week. And remember, you are loved and you are unlimited. Namaste, everybody. Take care.
Namaste.
We love you.
Love you.